Hey guys, so I got a video request to do a video of how to take care of a reborn baby doll. And so I'm just going to give you my general tips. This might be a long video, I'm not sure, but I'm going to try not to be repetitive and I'm going to try to stay organized in this video. So let's just start with your baby coming home. For your baby, you might want to prepare some things. You're going to want probably a white onesie. That's to protect the cloth. That's optional. You don't really need that. But if you want your baby's cloth to be clean at all times, then I would recommend having a white onesie. And you're gonna want to get some sort of onesie as like a clothes. And I have excessive items for my babies because I like to make it as realistic as possible. So I buy a lot of clothes. So I have multiple outfits for each baby. So my babies have a lot of clothes. But you only really need one outfit. Or, well, you should buy outfits according to the season. Like, you should dress them. Like, right now it's summer, so he's in this onesie. If it was winter, he'd be in a long sleeve onesie or romper with pants on. If it was fall, he'd probably just have pants on with this onesie. And if it was spring, he might have shorts on with the onesie. But for summer, most babies just will wear a onesie. And that's all, depending on their cloth. And you need to know if your baby has 3/4 limbs or full. He has 3/4 arms, full legs, which means he can wear onesies that are like this, 3/4 onesies, and he can wear full onesies to his legs, so his whole legs can stick out. Some babies have 3/4, some babies have full, some babies have half limbs, and some babies have 1/4. I can't stand 1/4 limbs, just being honest, but for instance, Erica has them, and she can only wear like winter clothes, which sucks, but it does make the babies very snuggly, so it's your choice to consider what kit you're going to get. Depending on the kit, you need to make the choice to whether you want a baby with 3/4, full, half, or 1/4. And some babies have an assortment of different kinds, like they could have 3/4 arms, full legs, full arms, 3/4 legs, 1/4 arms, full legs, different stuff like that. It just depends on the kit and the baby. He's the limited edition Presley Awake kit, so he's a really rare kit. Most people don't have this kit, but your kit could be anything. It could be anything from just a regular Behringer doll that's reborn to some really nice kit. Just depends on what you want to spend. You could get a cheaper kit that's an amazing reborn. Don't judge by the kits, because there's some reborns that are like just a regular Behringer baby and they're like amazing, and then they'll have like an Ariana kit that's done really badly. So don't judge a kit based upon that. So another thing is the hair on your baby. Some babies are bald, some babies have painted hair, but if you do have mohair, make sure that you make up either water or mohair conditioner. I prefer water, but at times I'll use mohair conditioner. And you just brush the baby's hair in certain styles and different styles. If your baby has painted hair or bald, then you don't ever have to worry about the hair ever. Some babies have open eyes, some have closed. I prefer babies with open eyes, and most of my babies have open eyes, but I do have a few babies here and there with closed. And one thing I like better about the open eyes is that they can look at you and they have more personality typically, but the sleeping babies tend to be more realistic. But for the vinyl, it can warp if left in heat too long, or it can be crushed easily, so you don't want to like ever squeeze it, ever. Don't want to ever squeeze the vinyl like that. You can like do this, but you don't ever want to like take the face and like do that to the face, or like take the arm and like bend it. The vinyl will rip, and it's guaranteed. They're not silicone babies. They cannot be bended, and they cannot be bent and flipped around and flopped and stuff like that. They're not silicone babies. If you want a baby that's floppy, get a partial silicone or something like that. Those are completely different than reborns. They have some similarities, but they're different. Another thing would be if you want a place for your baby to sleep. I have Owen in this bouncer. you can get a crib. This is a gigantic crib. I wouldn't recommend that for your first baby because it's overwhelming. For your first reborn, sorry if you hear the noise, my dog is walking around shaking and stuff. Oscar, stop it. But anyways, for your first baby, I would recommend just to get a basket and put like kind of like Mara's bed here. This is kind of like a starter bed. Or you could put your baby in a car seat with a blanket or in a bouncer. That could be a place to display it. But if you plan to collect more babies, eventually you might get something like this, which is like a playpen crib type of thing where I have all my babies sitting. And it's where I display most of my reborns. But one thing about the crib is that it is overwhelming because I have a lot of dolls. I have a lot of reborns. I'm not satisfied with just one. Once I got Erica, which is my first reborn, I kept buying more and more reborns. So definitely, if you're one of those people who just wants to have one or two, then just have them in little baskets. But if you get a lot, I wouldn't recommend having like 18 little baskets sitting around the room. I would recommend getting a crib. For transportation, you should have a car seat and a stroller. If you never plan to take your baby out, you don't have to have that. But if you're one of those people that doesn't want to spend a lot of money on a car seat or a stroller, there's ways that you can make little things that look like car seats. You can make little things that can be used as car seats out of boxes. You can make strollers. I don't know if you can make a stroller, but you could use like a cart or something. I'm sure there's ways out there of how to make a little stroller type thing. If you want a bottle for your baby, you can take a regular bottle. You can have a silicone or latex nipple. This is a silicone nipple. And what you'll do is you'll unscrew the cap. So let me do that. You'll unscrew the cap. And you'll take some silicone sealant, and it should be waterproof. And you'll put the tip in the tip right here of the nipple, and you'll just put silicone in it, as you can see. And you'll let it dry overnight, and by the next morning it should be ready. And then you can feed your baby with the bottle. And if your reborn has an open mouth, usually it will be able to take a full bottle, but most reborns have closed mouths, and they have magnets inside of their mouths that can take magnetic pacifiers. So he actually does not have a magnet. He doesn't take passies. He takes putty passies. But I don't like to put putty on them because I feel like it's not good for the paint. It could chip the paint off. So I would not recommend putty pacifiers. But if your reborn does not have sealed lips, then definitely don't use them. If your reborn's lips are sealed, which Owen's are not, then you can probably use putty, but I would not recommend it. Another thing is diapers. You always want to have a diaper on your baby just to make it look realistic. I have a lot of diapers. I have excessive amount, but then again, I am running low on them. But still, I would always have diapers around in different sizes or just the size of your baby. Most babies are either newborn or 0 to 3 month, but some are preemie and some are toddlers or like 6 month or child dolls. There's all types of different reborns that are out there and available for you to buy. But I recommend for your first baby either a preemie or a newborn or a 0 to 3 month. But preemies might be a little overwhelming because you have to buy special things for them, such as small clothes, and preemie clothes tend to be not the most common. So I would recommend, if you're getting your first reborn, for it to just be a newborn baby or a 0 to 3 month baby because they're the easiest to shop for. Also, for bringing them out, I would not recommend bringing your baby out until you've had them for about 5 months or so you're comfortable with them and you're comfortable with your hobby. I personally am not confident on the hobby around my friends who do not know about it, so I don't take them out usually. I never take them on walks anymore because a lot of my friends are in the neighborhood, and it scares me to know that they could see me with it, and I just don't want that to happen. But if you're comfortable, then you can go out with your reborn however much you want, but just be careful. Never leave your baby in a hot car. The vinyl can warp or can be melted. Like I said, the vinyl is delicate, and the paint can also melt off as well, especially if it's air dry paint. I would say no higher than 70 degrees in a car. Even then, that's pushing it. And in a house, if your house is over 80 degrees, which I don't think anyone would have their house that hot, but if it is, they will start to melt. Just saying. So another thing about your baby you might want to know is that they should be weighted with the proper materials. So hopefully they are expensive dolls, so hopefully the artist of the expensive doll took the time to weight the baby with poly pellets or like different materials that are used. They should not be weighted with anything that's illegal. They should not have rice or like food in them. Like some babies I've seen where people will put flour in their arms, and that's terrible. You never want to do that. They should have a pantyhose inside of them, inside their limb, and it should be filled with some sort of pellet, but it should not be filled with anything edible or anything that could rot or anything illegal, such as things. I've had a baby that was once stuffed with an illegal substance that was very, very bad, and I had to get rid of the doll. That was actually not a reborn. It was a regular doll that someone had put a new body on, and apparently in the process they put something else in the limbs. I'm not going to get into that, but you always want to check with your artist to see what the doll is made of. And I would not recommend buying your first baby from a professional artist. I would recommend buying your first on eBay because you can get it for cheaper, but always do research before buying your baby. So that's basically all I can say in this video. But there's a lot more tips. If you guys want me to do a more detailed, like a part 2 or whatever, then let me know. But I hope this helped. Comment below if you have any more tips or tricks, and if this helped you. And congratulations on your new reborn baby if you're getting a new one, or if this is your first, or if you're already a reborn mommy or just watching this to refresh on your tips, then that's for you. So thank you guys for watching this. I hope it helped. Bye.